Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So I had a revelation yesterday on my 8 o'clock prayer line, and I just had to get it out on here, okay? Because this was very powerful, for those who were on the prayer line, one of them being my mother. And she was on the prayer line and she was just moved. I was moved because it kind of was unexpected, but I guess it was expected in a way because I was worshiping. So as I was putting up my clothes, because it was laundry day, so I was putting up my clothes, I was folding them, and I went in my closet, and the Spirit just literally moved through me. This Holy Spirit told me, get rid of your clothes. Get rid of your clothes. First of all, they don't fit you anymore. They don't fit me anymore. So why am I still hanging on to them, thinking I'm going to lose weight, or thinking some way, somehow, it will fit me again, And that's what we tend on. That's what we learn to do. For some reason, I believe that we're programmed to hold on to stuff, to hold on to clutterness that doesn't really benefit us. It's just there in our closet and taking over space that can be moved for something greater, right? So as I've been moved through the Holy Spirit, I already had a bag set there because I already knew I was going to give my grandma, because she donates a lot to Salvation Army in her church, and she gives clothes away for those who are in need. So I've been giving like literally clothes all the time. So some of these clothes are new and I haven't even worn them. And that's the thing, I haven't even worn them. It was extra small, and somehow, some way, I gained weight, don't fit it anymore. I don't know what happened, y'all. So the Holy Spirit told me to get rid of those clothes. Why are you hanging out? Why are you hanging on to those clothes, Carly? I have something for you. I have new clothes coming. I have better clothes coming for you. Why are you hanging on? So that was my revelation, because I was praying, I was moved, like the presence just filled the entire closet, and I'm not throwing away, but I'm just gathering stuff and putting it in the bag, and then I'm like, wow, it's something about decluttering your space, decluttering the space that you're used to having so much stuff going on. So much stuff going on. It's something about moving on and letting go of what no longer serves you that is so impactful. It's very empowering, and it just makes you want to keep doing it. Am I right? So this message is about making way for what you've been praying for, making room for the things that you've been praying for, right? So, okay, you have to find out what's essential in your life, okay? So I may look over here because I'm just going through my guide and my notes, right? Something I've never done, but I've been moved by the Spirit to start doing this, so I can be more organized as far as, the presentation. So what aspects in your life that is aligned with God's prayer? So for an example, you ask God to bring you a husband, but you're entertaining C, D, E, F, G. You get where I'm coming from? So you're asking God to make way. Hey, Father, I want this, I want that. I want a man that's going to love me as much as you love me. Even though I know it may not be possible, but I believe that you're a God of possibility. So you're praying, you're setting the request. Now remember my previous video. If you guys have not watched it, please watch it, because this is it connects to that, okay? So, and God is moving on these videos now. So you're putting in your prayer, you're putting in your request, and he's working. But while he's working, like we're at the restaurant, we're expecting the order to be fulfilled, aren't we? So we're expecting that order to be fulfilled while he's working. So it's the same thing as this. You're putting in that request for God to send you a husband. You're expecting it to come any day, right? You're expecting God to move in your life. If things are aligned as such as your finances, attitude, business, or brain, brand, body, as Tony Gaskins would say, or anything of that aspect, if everything is aligned, you seek deliverance, you got your deliverance, and everything is aligned for you for the good things of God to enter your life, then it will. So the part of it is being aligned with what you've been asking God for. Okay, you cannot be distracted or accompanied by someone who is not your husband, but yet you're asking God for your husband, but then they're not putting out any signals. They're double-minded. They lack in communication. They're showing so many red flags that they're not your husband. But yet, because you don't want to be alone, because you rather have someone next to you, because you don't want to be lonely, that you're still being dated by somebody who's not. And therefore, how do you expect God to be your husband if you're not aligning with your prayer requests, right? So I know this sister of mine, I haven't really got direct contact with her lately, but I have been, her story really moves me. Now again, I don't know the specific details, but I say her story moves me because from hearing the good news of what has happened to her life, what God has done for her life, has really opened up my eyes. So there's a powerful sister, a prophetess, right? And she's been dating this guy for some years now. I don't know how many years, but she's been she's been praying to get married for so long, and she's doing the things of God. She's, worshiping, she's fellowshipping, she's doing events, she's doing everything. She's doing God's work for the kingdom. She's winning souls. Now, the person she's with, what is going on? You cannot force a man to marry you, right? We can't, as women of God, we cannot force a man to marry us. He must go down on his knee, get the ring, and marry us, right? We cannot. That's just out of alignment. And that is not ladylike, to be honest. That is not godly either. But anyways, back to the subject. She's been entertaining this guy for some long time because, they had history together. But then God moved in such a powerful way that they end up breaking up. And then guess what happened? Her husband came in. Now, that is only one out of the millions of stories I've heard. I heard a story from Steve Harvey telling us that a woman was dedicated to a man for so long, years after years after years. And he was married, but she wanted a husband. So when she broke that marriage, they were not married. He was married to somebody else. So when they broke that situationship off, her husband came in, and voila, within a year. So what I'm saying, ladies, is you have to align yourself with what you're asking for, okay? Now let go of what's holding you back. That's the same thing. Now if you're hanging on to situationships, you're hanging on to somebody that obviously is inconsistent, does not show any love for you, does not even care about you, that's not answering your phone calls, that's not texting you back. You have to sit there and force a situation to happen. You have to sit there and overthink, sit there and analyze, sit there and reflect, sit there and do so much just for the sake of love. No. You need to let go of that person who's holding you back from your husband finding you. You need to let go of the opportunities. You need to let go of situations so opportunities can make room. Now, I'm going to get off relationship because not every woman is looking for a relationship, or most women, or some women are probably already married, and I want to generalize this actually. So, like I said, I had so many clothes that was not my size anymore. And because my closet was so filled with extra small, but I'm a medium, I'm hanging on. And then I'm not even going shopping, looking for new clothes. So I'm over here hanging on to old stuff that is old to me, but it may be new to somebody else. I'm hanging on to stuff that no longer does me justice. Okay? So it's like I'm expecting to shop for new clothes any day now, but I'm not aligning myself. I'm not putting in the work. I'm holding on to what is keeping me bound. I'm holding on to what's filling in space that should be created so that God can bring new items in, right? So again, I was emptying out my closet, and like I said, the more you declutter, the more the room feels so empty. And it's like I know in China they have a different word for it, like feng shui or whatever you call it, where you move your furniture and you create. I think that they get that from God, okay? I think that all these little things they get it from God. But we're not going to talk about that. But It just makes sense. When you create and you declutter, you're making way for God. Now that I put my clothes away, the clothes that I want to give away, now that I have it out, therefore I created room in my closet. I created room in my drawers. I created space so that God can invite new wardrobe to come in my life. Because again, I've been asking God to change my style up, to use my creativity and give me a new wardrobe, because I'm tired of wearing pants. Let me be clear. I'm tired of wearing pants. I'm tired of wearing leggings everywhere I go. I'm tired of wearing hoodies. No, I want to be more feminine. I want to exercise my feminine, okay? I want to look good. I want to look like a woman of God, okay? I want to be separate from the world. As you can see, that's why I became natural. So we have to let go of toxic situationships, first and foremost. We have to let go of what's keeping us bound, okay? You're dealing with fornication and idolatry, but you're asking God to bring you your husband. That's not aligning with God. Okay, you're asking God to set you free, but you're still smoking. You have to throw those stuff away. The last time I smoked, I literally threw it down the toilet. I literally threw it in the garbage, and I was like, enough is enough. When you had enough, trust me, you had enough. It will show that you had enough, because you will do whatever you can to let that situation, let that toxicity out of your life. You will throw it away in the garbage, okay? So, and we have to cultivate a gratitude mind. You have to be thankful in everything you receive. You have to be thankful, even in the good and the bad. So make room, let go. And expectation is key, okay? I said this on the prayer line. Expectation is key. The point when you expect God to move in your life, He will move, okay? He is not people. He's not people of the world. His thoughts are not our thoughts. His ways are not our ways. So you have to expect, okay? You cannot put high expectations on people, on folks, because they will disappoint you. Again, they are people, okay? They're not God. So stop having high hopes for people, high expectations for people, and low expectation for God. And I see that God gave me a revelation that we tend to do that. We put low expectations on Him, but high expectations on people. In fact, reverse it. Put high expectations on God and put low expectations on people. Therefore, you won't get disappointed as much, because when you get disappointed, it just throws off your whole day. And then you start stereotyping, or you start becoming biased and thinking all men is like that, and all men are not like that, because you have not met 99% of men in the world. You have not traveled to 50 different states and the islands and all these places, and saying that all men are like that. No, stop doing that. You're putting way high expectations over somebody that is not even of God. And even if he is of God, you're still putting high hopes of God. And that's why we over here, that's not we, but some of you folks are over here worshiping pastors, and then you're disappointed that he fell. You're disappointed that he's led into temptation, and then you no longer want to go to church. You're putting high expectation on that pastor, who is still a man, okay? The pastor is still a man. He is not your God. He is not your father. He is not perfect, although it says in his word that we should strive to be perfect and blameless and spotless. But unfortunately for us, there are wolves in sheep's clothing, and for us, there's people that's not really called to ministry or called to pastor, but and even if they're called to pastor, they just have too many doors open. It's just so much. It's just a whole mess. It is a whole mess out here in these mega churches and churches, period. I'm sorry. It is a mess, okay? But we have to stop expecting so much for people, so much into pastors, prophets. Stop it, okay? Because they will always disappoint you. Somebody will always disappoint you. Somebody will always step on your feet and probably don't even mean to. That's why it's good to, go to that person and blah, blah, blah. But stop it, okay? I'm not saying, everybody's not good or everybody, is a disappointment, but he does say in his word, nobody is good. So put that expectation on God. God will never disappoint you. He will never betray you. He will never, 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 never fail you, okay? I say that because many, many times I thought friends were my friends and they were not my friends. Sisters were my sisters and they were my enemies. So and I even see stories that literally warn us Hey, don't trust nobody, trust God, trust this. He says, don't put your trust in men. Put your trust in me. How many times do God have to say that? Put your trust in him, okay? He will not disappoint you, sis. He will not fail you, so stop it. And put your high expectation on God. And when you expect him to send you a revelation, when you expect him to send you a word, when you expect the Holy Spirit to move in your life, I'm telling you, he will come through. Because there's so many times when I expect a word to deliver to somebody who needed encouragement, who needed a word of wisdom, who needed a word of knowledge, and then God came through every single time. And if he didn't come through, it's only because of my disbelief. It's only because of my doubtfulness. And we tend to doubt God. We tend to doubt God a lot. Like, hey, God, I'm doubting you because it didn't happen already. Like, can you give him some time, sis? Can you like align yourself with the prayer, what you're asking for, and then make room and then expect it to come in your life? So again, let go of what's holding you back, moving on from past regrets and failures, releasing negative habits and thoughts, okay? No smoking, drinking, fornication, idolatry. Release it out, okay? If you want God to move in your life, you have to close all spiritual doors. You have to close all spiritual doors. Do not give in temptation, okay? All right, and we have to cultivate a gratitude mindset. Now, I believe that's all I have. That's all I talked about. Make room for what you've been praying for. And remember, expectation is key. Expect that it's going to happen, okay? Because in my other video, while you're sitting at the restaurant waiting for your food to be prepared, it's just like you're putting your request to God. And he's preparing it. He's making way for it. So you have to expect it. And expecting it is moving your faith. That's faith working. When you're expecting it, you're expecting God to move on your behalf. Okay? And he is moving on your behalf. He will not fail you. Okay? So make room for what you've been praying for. Make way. Get rid of those distractions. Any negative thoughts. Get rid of it. Meditate on your word day and night, and he will prosper in everything you put your hands to. Thank you for watching this video, and I pray that you guys continue to having a great week. Bye.